Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Finch Farm. This is the home of Abraham Finch and his lovely family, the Finch family. And we're introduced to these guys when we start doing a few Minuteman quests to help his son. Now, I did a previous version of this build, and this version is much improved in my opinion. Here's a look at the last version. I tried to use the Overpass. I tried to be clever. I tried to maximize my build height there, and I put a bunch of wooden platforms stacked on top of each other and a whole bunch of engines, a little bit of wind turbines. Didn't work out very well. The place lagged really bad whenever I got close. And then the ground floor of the settlement was rather boring. I had two rather boring looking merchants, shop areas, and then a big scavenging station that produced a lot of scrap. This was back when I was trying to make my settlements produce as much scrap and to be extremely happy, back before I really understood how it all worked. But now, I don't care about any of that, and I just wanted this to be a beautiful, lived-in settlement build for the Minutemen. Now, the goal with my settlement builds is I'm rebuilding the Commonwealth one settlement at a time to give regular everyday settlers a place to live and plenty of food. Let me give you the bird's eye view here. So, a couple of things. I wanted to maximize use of the settlement without it feeling cluttered and without having too many unnecessary things. So as you can see, I completely rebuilt this overpass, and I put a bunch of houses on top, and I'll explain what each of them does in a moment. I installed a few mods that help with settlers actually using this overpass space. This is called Finch Farm Overpass, and what it does is the mod came with this wonderful little stairway already constructed, so I didn't have to build my own using the Contraptions Workshop DLC. And then he also covered all of these patches and holes in the overpass with these grates, and then re-nav meshed the entire thing. Apparently this overpass was comprised of two different cells. I don't really know what that means, but apparently it meant that settlers had a hard time navigating from one part of it to the other. And now, as you can see, settlers do really well. They walk up and down the stairway perfectly. They walk around up here. They enter their homes and do their chores. I'll be showing off each of these things individually. So that gave me plenty of room. I put all of the housing and dining and kitchen area up there. They give me plenty of room to use the ground level of this farm for a farm, of course, and defense, and then a big marketplace. So let's take the tour. So over here's the farm, and in my last video, you can check out my last settlement build in my previous video, but I had a big marketplace over here in the corner, which was taking up a whole lot of room, and because of that, I had to make this really weird looking farm. It was kind of triangular, the crops were all stacked up on top of each other, they were messy, they were not organized, so I completely redid it. I organized all of the carrots into these nice lines, and then I rebuilt the fence all the way around it to make a nice, perfect rectangle. Now, the reason I have carrots in my farms is because if you use tall plants like corn or mute fruit, then when you actually go to talk to a settler, you can't. You'll pick the fruit or you'll pick the vegetable. You can't open up a trade dialogue with them. It's really annoying. And I got fed up with it, so I use all of these short crops just because it makes it easier to access my settlers. The Finch family is still farming. Here's Abraham Finch, and his wife is around here somewhere. There's Abigail, and there's Jake, and there's Daniel. So the Finch family is all here. I saved the son. They're farming, and then now they have some help thanks to the Minutemen. Moving over here, and this is the Finch family house. Now, one thing is that there used to be a huge garbage pile right here. Well, the Finch Farm Overpass mod removed the big garbage pile and leveled the ground, which I was grateful for, because the big garbage pile got in the way of settlers. Settlers would get stuck and they wouldn't move around. It just boggles the mind that some of these things were left in the game when it was released. So they leveled it out, and I used it to create a marketplace and a little small dining area. But one thing I noticed is in that old garbage pile, there were a whole bunch of signs. Looks like Abraham Finch really enjoyed collecting old pre-war road signs and posters, so I decided to decorate up his little home with all sorts of signs and posters. Here's a bunch of wonderful Minuteman propaganda posters, and then over here we've got some more Minuteman propaganda and more Even more Minuteman propaganda. Then on the inside, I wanted this home to be just for the Finches. Now, I can't control where settlers go, so I've got this settler kind of just chilling out here in the dining area. But the Finch family does sleep in these beds. When night falls, only the Finch family comes in here and they sleep in their unique individual beds. And then I decorated it up to make it look like they're, wealthy. They've got a successful farm now. So they've got a small dining area here, a kitchen over here in the corner, plenty of storage space for all of their belongings, and then I gave Abraham his shish kebab back. So when you complete the quest, I believe it's called Out of the Fire, to go to the Saugus Ironworks and save his son, he gives you as a reward his old grandfather's shish kebab weapon. But I'm a sniper, this character. I don't need this melee weapon, so I decided to give it back to him, and so I put it on display in his own little house. Now let's talk a little bit about defense. I've got 3 major defense stations all around the perimeter. You get attacked back here. I think I just recently got attacked by some super mutants back here. Let's see if I can find their corpses. Yeah. Well, I can't find their corpses, but I just defeated a huge... Oh, here they are. So here are all the super mutants. They came from this direction, and they were torn to shreds by this nice little missile turret. This is a little invention of mine, a little platform I made using the... Wasteland Workshop concrete tile set, and I've created 2 different levels, 4 different, well, sometimes more than 4 turrets on each level, and then 1 big level up there. And then I've got a guard station over in this corner. I wired it up through the bottom of the overpass. You can see I connected my pylons to the underside of the overpass to try and minimize the wires that were snaking throughout my settlement. And then the generator, I've got a fusion generator over here. This provides all of the power for the settlement, and then I wire it up to this pylon and then up to the overpass where it then powers my defense. Sometimes then you also get attacked from this direction, so I've got another lovely guard station up here complete with a guard platform, a Minuteman flag, and another one of my turret structures. And then over here, this is the final one because sometimes I get attacked from that direction as well. So I wanted to make sure I had another big platform filled with turrets. And then I've got my station right here with my guard manning her post dutifully. Boston Police. That's right. I love to see it. So this is going to be the main market area, and I've got a trading post from Bunker Hill. You're rewarded with this after completing some Bunker Hill quests, and this allows the roving traders to come to your settlement and hitch up their Brahmin and to sell you their wares. In the middle here, as I said previously, I've got a nice little dining area for them to eat, and then I've got enough room here for every single merchant shop that you have. General, armor, clinic, clothing, bar, and weapons. I've got them made into 2 different levels here, so you can come on up to the back end here, and then if you actually want to purchase things, there's a platform here. You can come on up and then purchase directly from the settler. So here's my weapons merchant. I've got some weapons stuck to the cage right here on display. And then when you come around back to this platform, I've got ammunition back here and a bunch of weapons back here. I built this platform using thematic and practical. It's available on the PC and the Xbox. And what it does is it gives me these wonderful platforms that I can snap these cool different shops to. I was sick and tired of the tin-looking rickety shops that came with the game. They made your settlements look ugly. Every shop looked the same. And so I really like this mod because it makes each shop look different. Each shop is protected by one of these nice red canopies. Here's my bar. I've got this nice guy in a dapper suit. He's got some beer out and some pint glasses. Here are his stores where he can sell his food and sell all of his wonderful beverages. This is the clothing merchant. I put her in a dapper outfit. She's got a tuxedo for sale up there, and I believe there was a dress here. She must have knocked it off. And then back here, I've got 2 different display mannequins. These came with Contraptions Workshop with a few different outfits on it. And then a big rack back here filled with clothing. This is my chem merchant, and I really like this hat. I don't know if you can see it. You see that hat? That's new. That came from a new mod called Nurse's Cap. And I decided I'm going to have my nurse here. She's got a mask on and she's wearing her nurse's cap. Anyway, she's got all of her chems back here, and then a big supply of chems and medical equipment back here. Here's a big medical storage bin on display. And then this is my armor merchant. She's wearing some interesting armor. She's got some combat armor for sale here, and then here's some leather armor on display on this mannequin. And then she's got a few little doodads back here for her storage. And then this is my regular trader. I don't know where she went off to. She just went for a walk. But I put some toys out here and some doodads. There's a camera and an alarm clock. And then she's got a whole bunch of goodies for sale over in the corner. So there you go. That is my marketplace. It is much improved from the marketplace that I had previously. So before we go on up, let's talk about this thing over here. This is the Finch Overpass lift. This is from a mod. I had to install a mod to get this. You can't build it. I didn't use console commands. And it's so great. Settlers won't use it, but I can. And it's so much easier than just going up and down the stairs. So you just push the button and it works like any other lift. I would have expected Bethesda to include these lifts with the settlements that have overpasses, Grey Garden and Finch Farm, because otherwise it's just incredibly hard to get on up. But they didn't, so you had to install a mod for it, and I like it. It doesn't conflict with the other mod, the Finch Farm Overpass, so I was grateful for that. I was able to have this nice stairway leading down. I lit it up, by the way. See all of the lights I put around there so that at night, settlers won't stumble in the dark. And then for me, I've got this nice little lift so that I can come up and down super easily. And by the way, I am going to be linking to the mods that I feature in the description of this video. I have a document in the description of this video where I collect all of the mods that I use, but I'll try to manually link to the specific ones for this settlement in the description of this video. Finch Farm Overpass and the Finch Farm Lift. Now, coming on down here, and oh dear. Settlers on the roof. Of course, this is my bathhouse. I want to make sure that my settlers are nice and clean. And what I did is I built it around this support column for the overpass. I attached these shower heads to the overpass, and I figured they probably found some way to pipe in water into this concrete structure so that settlers can come in here and take a shower. And these do work. This comes from a shower mod I have installed. Settlers will come in here, activate the shower, bathe themselves, sing a little ditty while taking a shower, and so on and so forth. And it's the same with all of these sinks. They can use the sinks, and they can use the toilets. Each of these toilets is perfectly functional, and as you just heard, somebody just flushed the toilet, so she'll probably be coming out of there. Yeah, she just finished her duty there. We'll go ahead and give them some privacy. So there you go. That is my bathhouse slash toilet facility slash perch for settlers who like to walk on the roof. Oh dear. And then over here, I just have some of my water purifiers over there. The edge of the settlement is right here. Ooh. Oh, I just now noticed that. All right. I'll have to go back and fix that. Anyway, the edge of the settlement is right here, so I did have to use the Place Everywhere mod to push these water purifiers out in the water. I didn't want them up here against the shore crowding up the bathhouse, so I pushed them out here into the water. I think that makes more sense anyway. The water purifier is going to need to be out into deep water, I think anyway, in order to purify water. It has this nice beach, but the settlement ends before the beach, so I couldn't actually put anything out on the beach unless I wanted to use the mod to do so. Alright, so that's the ground floor. Let's head on up the stairs. And I'm just so grateful that the mod author nav-meshed all of this and made sure that settlers could use it, because up here I have all of their sleeping arrangements. And if they... problems with settlers trying to use the stairs while I'm trying to use the stairs. Move, guys. Trying to get up here. Anyway, I put all of their houses and beds up here, so if they were not able to walk around, then they wouldn't be able to use it. So before I get into all of these different houses, let's talk about the main building here. This is the kitchen / dining area. I've got all sorts of different workstations up here for the settlers to use. This settler is cleaning dishes. Here's a nice storage for food. This settler is cooking on an open fire grill. Gotta have that flame grilled flavor. This settler is distilling booze. She is my brewmaster. Because a settlement in a post-apocalypse can't function without some hearty brew. And then this is my butcher. She's chopping up some meat. These workstations come from a mod called Northland Diggers, which is linked in my major mod document. And this is a fish weighing station. This guy is harvesting the bounty from the sea and weighing each individual fish for later consumption. Out here, I've got this guy grilling up meat on the grill. They decided to take a break a little bit. And then over here, I've got a nice, it's a balcony overlooking this wonderful view. They can sit out here and eat their blood bugs and steaks and stuff. Now, I did experiment with a mod that would allow settlers to come over here and shoot off into the distance. Now, I wanted to do this because we have a big gunner facility right there. See, the gunners are sitting over there in that scrapyard, and then over there is the Saugus Ironworks, and you can see the enemies just walking around. And I figured, hey, they've been harassing these settlers for years. The settlers may want to come out onto this deck and take some pot shots. So I installed a mod called Settlement Markers that's supposed to allow settlers to stand in one spot. I've got a marker set right there, and then shoot off into the distance. You can see I've got a target hovering in the air. I was going to make that invisible later, but if it worked, the settler would just shoot off in that direction, actually aiming at the target, and then I would just imagine that they're hitting gunners and enemies and so forth. But the way the mod works is that it acts like a chair, so a settler has to not have a job and then come on by and then randomly use it. I haven't been able to see the settler use it, but if I do, I'll let you know if it works. Then, attached to this major kitchen is the first housing area. I'm using a new mod called Snap Beds that allows me to really save space. This mod gives you a bunch of bed frames that you then snap mattresses to. This is important because in the past, if you use a bunk bed like that comes with Vault-Tec Workshop, for example, it has 2 beds, but it only counts as 1 bed. Only one settler will use it. This mod fixes it so that all you do is place the frame, and then you snap a mattress on top of it. Each mattress counts as a bed. In this way, a bunk bed will actually have 2 settlers sleeping in it. It also comes with unique frames like these wall-hanging military cots, which really allows you to save space. It's so great. So I've got each of these little houses all decorated up with everything a settler might need. Over here I built, so this is built with the Contraptions Workshop warehouse set. And then this is built with the Far Harbor barn tile set. I decided to just make a cozy little shack. I used the railing that came with vanilla Fallout 4 to cover up the gap underneath there. And then on inside, we've got 8 different beds. This is a double bed. You see right half, left half. It will sleep 2 settlers. And this is a functional bunk bed that comes with thematic and practical. And then more bunk beds that come with snap beds. Then over here, I wanted to have another interesting looking house. I made this with the vanilla tile set, and then this red and green tile set came with a mod that I installed to fix up my 10 Pines Bluff settlement. And it snaps really well to the vanilla pieces, so I decided to make a little attic up there on top of this regular vanilla house. So we've got some beds over here in the corner, more beds, and then a stairway walking on up to this nice cozy area, which houses 4 different settlers. This guy is hanging over the gap in his bed, and then these 3 are hanging on top of each other. And these do work. Settlers will come up at the end of the day, and they will sleep in these beds, even the hanging ones. So I'm so grateful that it does actually function. And then the last house is this. This is the train cars that came with Contraptions Workshop, and I made a little house, a small little house, and then used these roofs, these arched roofs that came with just vanilla Fallout 4, and put some pillars that came with Contraptions Workshop to support them. And then coming on inside, we have more beds, more of these hanging military cots, some personal doodads and effects. Here's a couple's bed, and then more of these hanging military cots. In this way, I was able to get 36 beds here to provide a place to sleep for all 36 of my settlers. And then the Finch family sleeps in their little house down there. I just wanted to leave that for them. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is my Finch farm revisited. I had so much fun putting this thing together. And, modders, really talented modders, make settlement building so much more fun. As you go to build your settlement, there are so many things with the settlement system as presented to us that are frustrating, that kind of kill your joy when you're creating a settlement. Like settlers who just don't walk where they're supposed to go, or settlers who don't sleep in their beds, or pieces that don't go together. But thankfully, there are modders out there who can fix all of these issues so that settlers walk up the stairs, sleep in their beds, go to their shops, and everything works as it should. Let me show you the vital stats for this settlement really quickly. As I told you previously, I'm no longer worried about happiness, so this settlement has gone down from like 96 happiness to 81. It'll probably hover around 80, and that's fine with me, but it's got 228 defense, 100 power, 36 water, 36 food, and 36 people. I love it. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is my Finch farm. Thank you very much for watching this short settlement revisited video. If you have any questions about this settlement and what I did here, please let me know in the comment section below. I have all of the mods that I used for this settlement linked in the document linked in the description below, and then I'll try to call out some of the specific mods I mentioned in the description below. If you'd like to show me your settlements, be sure to join the Oxhorn community on Discord. I've provided an invitation link in the description of this video, so head on over to our Discord community where you can talk with myself and other like-minded individuals. And if you like what I do and you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming one of my patrons on Patreon. Patreon subscribers gain access to a private channel on my Discord server, as well as a bunch of other cool Oxhorn perks. But more than anything, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just so glad that you're here watching this video today. Thank you for watching from the bottom of my heart, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early, with a brand new video.